Hi, it's Brian. Welcome to the Awards Contender. I'm up kind of early today to give you my reactions to the BAFTA nominations. We are just days away from Oscar nominations, and now, like, the final big step before we get there are the BAFTA nominations. Who got in? Who got snubbed? I'm excited to find out. Let's do this.
The nominees for Outstanding Debut by a British Writer, Director or Producer are Luna Carmoon, Horde.
Don't know that one.
Richard Peppiatt, Kneecap.
I've heard of that.
Dev Patel, Monkey Man.
Oh, great.
Sandia Suri, James Bauscher, Baltazar Digane, Santosh. Karun Kandari, Sister Midnight.
Monkey Man. That was a great film earlier last year.
The nominees
really enjoyed that.
for Original Screenplay are Honora, written by Sean Baker.
Nice.
The Brutalist, written by Bray D. Corbet and Mona Varsvold. Kneecap, written by Rich Peppiatt.
Okay, apparently
Story
I
by
have to
Rich
see
Peppiatt,
Kneecap.
Nisha O'Carrollon, Liam
Add it to the
O'Hanna,
list.
JJ O'Doherty. A Real Pain, written by Jesse Eisenberg.
Nice.
The Substance, written by
Oh,
Coralie
okay.
Farshad.
I'm feeling good about The Substance moving forward.
The nominees for Adapted Screenplay are A Complete Unknown, screenplay by James Mangold and Jay Cox. Conclave,
Yep.
screenplay by Peter Strawn. Emilia Perez, written by Jack Audier.
Okay, no big surprises here so far.
Nickel Boys, screenplay
Oh,
by
nice.
Ramel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes. Sing Sing, screenplay
Ooh,
by Clint
okay.
Bentley, Greg
Come
Cuidar.
on, let's give Sing Sing
Story
some love
by
here,
Clint
BAFTA.
Bentley, Greg Cuidar, Clarence Divine Eye Macklin, John Divine G. Whitfield.
That's a great category.
The nominees for film not in the English language are All We Imagine Is Light,
Nice.
Emilia Perez,
Yep.
I'm Still Here, Onde Estou Aqui,
Okay.
Kneecap,
Kneecap again.
The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Okay, nice. I'm Still Here.
The nominees for children's
movie.
and family film are
What?
Flow,
Oh, that's what they call it there?
Kensuke's Kingdom,
Okay.
Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, The Wild
Wild,
Robot.
okay. It's like the Wild Robot, right? Only 4? Okay.
The nominees for director are Sean Baker, Honora,
Yeah.
Brady Corbet,
Yep.
The
Come on,
Brutalist,
Farja.
Edward Berger, Conclave,
Come on.
Denis Villeneuve, Dune, Part 2,
Okay. That's good.
Jacques Audiard, Emilia Perez,
Is that it?
Coralie Farshad.
Yes! There's
The nominees
6
for
nominees.
supporting actress are Selena Gomez,
Okay.
Perez,
Okay.
Ariana Grande, Wicked,
Yep.
Felicity Jones, The
Nice.
Brutalist,
Okay. Yes. Felicity
Jamie
Jones.
Lee Curtis,
Oh my
The
god.
Last Showgirl, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, Zoe Saldana.
Jamie Lee frickin' Curtis. Is she getting the Oscar nomination? Oh my
The
god.
nominees for supporting actor are Yura Borisov, Honora,
Okay, man, he has got in everywhere. That's
Kieran
crazy.
Culkin, A Real Pain,
Yep.
Clarence Macklin,
Yes,
Sing Sing,
Clarence Macklin. Come on, that's
Edward
awesome.
Norton, A Complete Unknown,
Yep.
Guy Pearce, The Brutalist,
Nice.
Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice.
Okay. No Denzel Washington. Again, BAFTA.
Nominees for
You-
leading
you never
actress
nominated.
are Cynthia Erivo, Wicked,
Nice. Okay.
Carla Sofia Gascon,
She hasn't
Emilia
missed.
Perez.
None of them have missed.
Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Hard
Nice.
Truths,
Okay.
Mikey Madison,
Yep.
Honora, Demi Moore, The Substance,
Freaking great.
Saoirse Ronan,
I had a
nominees
feeling,
for
guys.
leading
I had a
actor are-
feeling Ronan was going to make it. Oh,
Adrian Brody, The Brutalist,
freaking awesome.
Timothy Chalamet, A Complete
Yep.
Unknown,
Okay. Any surprises here?
Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing,
Yep.
Rafe Fiennes, Conclave,
Uh huh.
Hugh Grant, Heretic,
Oh my god.
Sebastian Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice.
Wow. Hugh frickin' Grant.
And the nominees for
BAFTA nominee for
British
Heretic.
film
That is
are
insane.
Bird, Blitz, Conclave, Gladiator
Blitz.
2,
Gladiator 2.
Hard Truths, Kneecap, Lee,
Oof.
Love Lies Bleeding,
Lee.
The Outrun.
Kate
Wallace
Winslet could have
Gromit,
gotten
Vengeance
The
was
Outrun.
Foul.
Ooh, Love Lies Bleeding. Great movie.
The nominees for Best Film are Honora,
Yep.
The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown,
Yep.
Conclave, Emilia Perez.
Yep. Know the substance? Okay. It's okay. Coralie Farsha got into director. Okay. So, like, not too many huge surprises there. I'm going to break down, the top categories in a moment here. There's two big thoughts, like, right off the bat. One is Saoirse Ronan got into Best Actress. I was feeling it last night. I was like, she's pretty well out of this, but she was longlisted at BAFTA for The Outrun, and she's so great in that. If enough people watch that movie, like, come on, BAFTA. At least BAFTA do the right thing and nominate Saoirse Ronan in Best Actress for The Outrun. And it happened. Like, going through the Best Actress lineup, we were getting the usual suspects, like the people we're seeing everywhere. And then I was like, I think there's one more spot. And I'm like, it's alphabetical order. So I'm like going through, I'm like, oh, could it be Ronan? And there she was. That's awesome. I don't think she can get the Oscar nomination outside of a total shocker. But even if that doesn't happen, which is, it's unlikely. I'm so happy she at least got the BAFTA nomination for Best Actress. That is great. That is so awesome. It has been heartbreaking to see Saoirse Ronan not be a part of the Globes and Critics' Choice and SAG. I mean, that is one of her best performances. I just recorded yesterday a video, like, if I was an Oscar voter, if I picked the nominees, and in Best Actress, you better believe I have Saoirse Ronan there for The Outrun. It has been mystifying to me that she's like not been a part of the season at all. It's been very strange, because I think that is one of her 2 or 3 best performances in her career thus far. For her to have 4 Oscar nominations and she's not going to get a 5th for The Outrun. I mean, I guess like maybe, like she's here at BAFTA, maybe. Like, Nick and I did not even talk about her in our recent final acting Oscar predictions video. Like, I didn't even talk about her, honestly, because it's so painful. Because I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Here she is at BAFTA. That is great. And then my other main thought right now is Jamie Lee frickin' Curtis, Best Supporting Actress. Wow. Like, here's the thing. Like, I saw that movie my first full day at the Toronto Film Festival, and my main tweet about that movie, like I said, I admired the performance of Pamela Anderson, but like the second half of my tweet is like, prepare yourself for a wild performance by Jamie Lee Curtis. I wasn't convinced that day I had seen like a great performance. I'm still not sure like what exactly I feel about Jamie Lee Curtis in The Last Showgirl, but it definitely stands out. What she is doing in that film, I mean, it's memorable. Like, however you feel about her in that film, like she is doing something pretty crazy. And, because she has been on a roll lately, like with her nominations, her wins, like getting the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once, getting the Emmy for The Bear, and now with this BAFTA nomination, we all need to be prepared. Jamie Lee Curtis might get the Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress, even if Pamela Anderson does not get into Lead Actress as we saw what happened here at BAFTA. We have got to be prepared for that. I was thinking for, a couple days, I was like, if Curtis gets the BAFTA nomination, she might get in at the Oscars. I was like, just SAG, I don't know. But yeah, the Oscar nomination for Jamie Lee Curtis is now even likelier than like before this morning. I mean, it could still like not get in. Like she could still miss, but like I'm starting to feel it, especially with them like allowing a few more days for Academy members like to vote for who they want to get in at the 97th Academy Awards. Like having those extra few days now with Jamie Lee Curtis getting in at BAFTA. I don't know, guys. I think Curtis might be happening. We shall see. All right, so let's touch on the top categories here, starting with Best Original Screenplay. I mean, I think 4 of those 5 are getting in at the Oscars. I think Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, and The Substance are making it in. The question is, what gets that 5th slot? I don't think it's going to be Kneecap. I need to read up on this movie. I need to check that out. Did that play at Sundance? I feel like that title looks familiar to me. I feel like there might have been an opportunity for me in the last year to see that. That might have been a Sundance title. So obviously, seeing it do so well at BAFTA, I'm going to check it out, adding it to the list. But I think the other 4 are getting in at the Oscars. The question is, what takes the 5th slot? I was, even in, October, November, I was like, can The Substance get into original screenplay at the Academy Awards? I think it is. I think with like Demi Moore getting in at the Oscars being a frontrunner, I think even if Farja were to miss in director, although I think like it's possible she can get it, I think for sure she's getting into original screenplay. So that's great. Adapted screenplay, no big surprises there. Honestly, when I saw Nickel Boys get in there, I thought, oh, maybe Nickel Boys will get some big nominations, like maybe in the acting categories, maybe in director picture at BAFTA, and that didn't happen. So that's too bad, but at least it's here. Sing Sing, obviously happy that got in to adapted screenplay. It's been unfortunate to see that movie like not do as well as we thought it might do, a few months ago. But yeah, there's no huge surprise here. I mean, I guess Emilia Perez getting into screenplay. Man, that movie is so freaking strong. Emilia Perez. It's, I mean, like, every single award show, we're like, we're thinking, well, maybe this is where Emilia Perez stumbles. And it just never does. It's like, I mean, it's in some ways like with like, awards voters this season, that might be like the most popular film. I mean, people just love that thing. And I mean, I know there's a lot of hate for it. A lot of hate for that movie. More than like any big contender this year, I would say. I would still give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it. There were elements of it I very much admired. And there were scenes in that movie I was really vibing with. I really enjoyed. But for it to do as well as it's doing, it is kind of baffling to me, honestly. I'm like, it's not that good, guys. But okay, go for it. I mean, I'm just like, is Emilia Perez going to get like 12, 13 Oscar nominations or something? I don't know. I mean, I think we know what wins in this category, like I'll do my BAFTA predictions video down the road. Like, I think we know it's going to win here, but yeah, no big surprises in adapted screenplay. Best supporting actress. I mean, Emilia Perez is strong, like really strong, when you have both Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana get in. Like, Zoe Saldana has not missed anywhere. She won the Globe. She's still the frontrunner right now, I would say. I mean, she has to lose something somewhere at a televised ceremony, I think, for her to not be the frontrunner to win the Oscar. I'm very happy, like, at BAFTA, the love for The Brutalist. Like, I've been saying for weeks, I'm like, okay, it might miss here and there in the acting categories. I think at the Oscars, come on, we have to have Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Adrian Brody, of course. I have always felt the most vulnerable of those three is Felicity Jones. Even though Guy Pearce missed at SAG, I am not worried about him. I think his Oscar nomination is almost 100%. Felicity Jones was the one I was a little more nervous about because she missed a Critics' Choice as well as SAG. So I'm just like, is she fading out here? Like, is that not going to happen? Here again, we have 6 people at BAFTA. At the Oscars, it's only 5. So, I'm predicting Monica Barbaro gets in at the Oscars. She's not here at BAFTA. We also don't have Margaret Qualley here at BAFTA. So, it's like, are the 5 at the Oscars going to come from these 6 nominees? Is Jamie Lee frickin' Curtis getting the Oscar nomination? For The Last Showgirl? That's the only nomination here, right? At BAFTA for that movie? Like, no Pamela Anderson. People love Jamie Lee Curtis. Maybe she'll, this later stage of her career, Jamie Lee Curtis gets 5 Oscar nominations or something. Over the next 2 decades, she just keeps showing up. I don't know. But I still think it comes down to Grande and Saldana. I don't even know what the next televised award show is. I'm pretty sure SAG is after BAFTA. Critics' Choice was just pushed back again. I'm feeling like Critics' Choice will happen before February 16th. I think they have to happen before that. So, but yeah, it's going to be at least a couple weeks now before, we have another televised ceremony and we know, who's going to be the ultimate frontrunner to win Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars. If Grande can win at Critics' Choice and SAG, she could be the new frontrunner. But right now, Saldana is looking pretty good. Isabella Rossellini is looking very good for the Oscar nomination. So it turns out she just missed at SAG, but she's in here. And Conclave is so popular. I think she's gonna make it. I think she's gonna get in at the Oscars. Selena Gomez, she got in at the Globes. She missed right at Critics' Choice and SAG. So I haven't really had her on my radar to get the Oscar nomination. But, if you get into Globes or Critics' Choice or SAG and you get in at BAFTA, you have some strength. You could potentially make it in at the Oscars. I still feel like in a field of 5, not 6, I'm not seeing it right now. In a weird way, I feel like Curtis has a better chance for the Oscar nomination than Gomez. But you never know. It could be 5 of these 6 who make it in. We shall see. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. Man. I was she's probably going to get the Golden Globe nomination. I was feeling that in the days leading up to the Globe nominations in December. I was I don't think Curtis is really going to be a part of this season. But I felt like The Last Showgirl would be a Globes movie. I was I think with the 2 lead actress categories, Pamela Anderson is getting into Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to surprise us in Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. When Curtis didn't get in there, I was okay, maybe I was overthinking that. It's just going to be Anderson. She's going to be the only play for that movie. And then Curtis shows up at SAG. Obviously, that was kind of surprising to all of us. And now she's here at BAFTA. Wow. Just frickin' wow. All right, Best Supporting Actor is next. No, huge surprise here. Obviously, Denzel Washington. It's what do BAFTA voters have against Denzel Washington? He made the long list, but it's even when he made the long list, I was well, Gladiator 2 is not very popular this year, so I don't see him getting in. But I was he's not going to make it because BAFTA has never nominated Denzel Washington, ever. How many? He has 9 Oscar nominations. Washington has 9 Oscar nominations, he's never received a single BAFTA nomination. I still think that's really weird. But, you know, if Washington has to miss here in order for Clarence Macklin to get in to Best Supporting Actor, I'm all here for it because that is great. If he can make it in at the Oscars in Best Supporting Actor in that field of 5, that would be a huge win for him. I would love to see that happen. He gives such an excellent performance in that movie. You know, he's at the level, absolutely, of Coleman Domingo. So I'm happy to see him here at BAFTA. He got in at Critics' Choice only, right? I think he missed at the Globes. He missed at SAG. But he's here at BAFTA. You know, again, like if you can get 2 of those 4, like especially getting in at BAFTA, I think helps. You know, it's not sewn up at all. Like he could still miss at the Oscars. But Macklin making this BAFTA list, that's huge for him. I have been so stunned to see Yura Borisov get in everywhere. He got into all 4. So yeah, I think the Oscar nomination is absolutely happening for him. I think, like, you know, he's been helped with the huge popularity of Anora. And I mean, but it's not like a coattail nomination. Like, he's been deserving of getting into supporting actor. He's so great in that film, especially in the last half hour. But I you know, in December, I was like, he's probably going to miss at least 2 places. But I feel like he can get in at BAFTA, maybe one other place, and he will get the Oscar nomination. Like, he is absolutely making it in now. That would be shocking to me if after all of this, Yura Borisov did not get the Oscar nomination. So that's great. You know, Edward Norton getting in here. He has not missed anywhere. So, like, I mean, you know, he's getting in at the Oscars for sure. Is Jeremy Strong going to get the Oscar nomination for The Apprentice? You know, we talked about that in that video I did with Nick. You know, I have him as my alternate now. I have Denzel Washington making it in. But at this point, you know, in some ways, I'm like, you know, Washington missed at SAG and he missed at BAFTA, which I kind of thought was going to happen. But, you know, like his Oscar nomination, it's looking less likely by the day. Strong could get in even if Sebastian Stan does not make it into Best Actor. Like, Strong could get into supporting actor. We have to be prepared for that. It would be deserving. He is great in The Apprentice, Jeremy Strong. He is very powerful and memorable in that movie. So, like, you know, I could see that. We could, at the Oscars, have 2 former co-stars of Succession get in there. Obviously, Kieran Culkin is the front runner. Although, as I've been saying for a while, if there's one place Culkin could miss, I feel like it could be BAFTA. It could be Edward Norton. It could be Guy Pearce. Even though Guy Pearce missed at SAG, he could be competitive here at BAFTA. They obviously went all in on The Brutalist. And I would love to see him win. That would be awesome. I would love to go into Oscars nights with like Guy Pearce having won something. And so we're like, okay, like what's going to happen here? Is Culkin just going to run away with this? Or could we get an Oscar surprise? Like, that would be awesome. I think it's going to be hard for Pearce to be like fully competitive to win the Oscar when he's not even nominated at SAG. There is that. But I'm very relieved he's here. I do think he's going to be in the top 2 or 3 at BAFTA to win. So yeah, supporting actor, like not too many huge surprises here. I'm very happy to see Macklin get in. I'm very, very happy, of course, to see Pearce get this. The winner might well be Culkin, but, you know, we'll talk about it in my upcoming BAFTA predictions video. Lead actress, like, going down the list, there weren't really any surprises. I felt pretty good that Marianne Jean-Baptiste was going to make it in. Like, that is just one of the best performances of the year. And she has missed a couple places along the way. Of course, she did not get in at the Globes, which was crazy. She didn't get in at SAG. They typically don't go for international performances at SAG, so I kind of expected that. But like, you know, it's going to be interesting at the Oscars because I am predicting that Fernanda Torres is getting the Oscar nomination over Marianne Jean-Baptiste. I would love a world where both Jean-Baptiste and Torres make it in at the Oscars, but in a field of 5 there, I just don't see it. I think it's going to be one or the other. And Torres getting that Golden Globe win, I don't know. I just think she might have more momentum in a way than Jean-Baptiste. But boy, like if they can both get in, I don't know who would be left out. I mean, I think at this point, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison, and Demi Moore are pretty well set for those Oscar nominations, those 3. So, then you have Cynthia Erivo, who has not missed anywhere. And then that 5th slot, I have always maintained if one of those 4 was vulnerable, could potentially miss the Oscar nomination after getting in everywhere. Cynthia Erivo, to me, makes the most sense. A fantasy musical movie. There's a second part coming, like maybe enough voters can be like, let's give Erivo the nomination for the second film in a year, like maybe. And then so at the Oscars, Erivo is snubbed. She doesn't make it. And those final 2 slots, we get Marianne Jean-Baptiste and Fernanda Torres. That could happen. But yeah, BAFTA, you didn't help us here with having 6 nominees. I couldn't remember. I was thinking yesterday, I was like, is BAFTA 5 nominees per category? Or is it 6? It's 6. So yeah, you're not helping. BAFTA Oscars is only 5. But thank God BAFTA has 6 slots because we got Saoirse Ronan for The Outrun. I have been championing that performance since I saw it at Sundance a year ago. I walked out of that theater at the end of January 2024. I said, that is an awards-worthy performance. She is the whole movie. She is so frickin' spectacular in that film. For many months of 2024, I was like, come on. I don't know what's going to happen with Best Actress at the end of the year, early next year, but Saoirse Ronan for The Outrun deserves to be there. It was so crushing to see her just not show up anywhere. Globes, Critics' Choice, SAG, nothing. I was like, come on, BAFTA, at least get in at BAFTA. She deserves to be there. I'm so thrilled she's here. I'm so thrilled. Even if this is it, I'm so thrilled Saoirse Ronan got a Best Actress nomination at BAFTA for The Outrun. That is great. That is my biggest takeaway of this entire morning BAFTA nominations. That fills my heart with joy. Frickin' fantastic. Of course, Best Actress, I think is coming down to Mikey Madison for Anora or Demi Moore for The Substance. Although, at SAG and at BAFTA, there's no Margaret Qualley in Supporting Actress. That does make me wonder, are we overestimating Demi Moore? Maybe, she won at the Globes in musical or comedy. Demi Moore might not just sweep the season. Let's see her compete in one actress category with everybody, and we'll see if she can take it. I mean, Carla Sofia Gascon has gotten in everywhere. She could win somewhere. She could win at BAFTA. That is not outside the realm of possibilities. I mean, I do think Jean-Baptiste and Ronan are just happy to be here at BAFTA. Either one of them winning, would be like, wow. Erivo too, I don't see her winning anywhere. That would be surprising to me. In some ways, because of how popular Emilia Perez is, how it's gotten in everywhere, more categories than you could possibly imagine. Selena Gomez also got in at BAFTA, along with Zoe Saldana. We could be looking at a huge acting win for that movie that's not just Saldana. Be prepared for that. I still think, even at BAFTA, even with all of these great nominees, I still think the win here will come down to Madison or Moore. But, anything can happen. It's still early, right? We've only had the Globes. It's still early. Anything can happen. I very much love this Best Actress lineup. I would love for Fernanda Torres to be there. I would love for Nicole Kidman to be here. I would love for, Angelina Jolie. There's so many great female performances of 2024 I would love to see in Best Actress. Should be like 15 names long, right? But it's only 5 or 6. Here it's 6. And, especially with that Ronan inclusion for the Outrun, like Ronan getting in here, that is freaking awesome. All right, lead actor. Obviously, those top 4 are the same we've been seeing all season long. Man, they have not missed anywhere. I thought, maybe Domingo doesn't show up at BAFTA or something. Maybe Ralph Fiennes misses somewhere along the way. Those 4 are sets at the Oscars. I would be shocked if any one of those guys missed. So the question has always been, who gets that 5th slot? Here we have, at BAFTA, a field of 6, and there's no Daniel Craig for Queer. That's a little concerning, actually. Daniel Craig made it in at SAG, which surprised me. I kind of thought at SAG they were going to go for Hugh Grant's Heretic. That's like a very showy performance in that movie. I thought, Hugh Grant could get in there. They went for Craig. Here at BAFTA, there's no Daniel Craig. And instead, we have Hugh Grant Heretic and Sebastian Stan The Apprentice. I still, even with that BAFTA nomination, I do not think Hugh Grant gets in at the Oscars. That would be shocking to me. I mean, Hugh Grant is fantastic. He's never received an Oscar nomination. That would be really cool. It is a horror performance, so to have Demi Moore get in for a horror film, The Substance, in lead actress, and Hugh Grant to get in for Heretic, to have 2 genre films in the leading acting categories, that would be awesome. I don't think that's going to happen. In a way, right now, I feel like if Daniel Craig, for whatever reason, missed the Oscar nomination for Queer, I think Sebastian Stan will get in for The Apprentice over Hugh Grant in Heretic. That's what I'm feeling right now, especially if Jeremy Strong gets Oscar nominated in supporting actor for that movie. Sebastian Stan might get in there, and there, a certain someone won't be very happy about that, but I don't know. That's a huge get for Stan, the BAFTA nomination, him winning for a different movie, him winning at the Globes, getting double nominated there, and now getting a BAFTA nomination in lead actor for The Apprentice. He could get the Oscar nomination. We need to be prepared for that too. Over Daniel Craig. It might be Stan. That is definitely going to be a nail biter on Oscar nominations morning next week. I'm going to be it's probably going to be Craig. That's what I'm feeling. But him not showing up here at all, that does surprise me at BAFTA that Craig didn't get into a field of 6. Wasn't he nominated in lead actor, a couple decades ago for Casino Royale? I read that a few days ago, I think. I was like, he got a Best Actor nomination at BAFTA for Casino Royale, but he couldn't get in here for Queer? Interesting. So that does give me a little pause about Craig potentially getting the Oscar nomination. If there's not a lot of international support for that performance, maybe he does miss at the Oscars at the end of the day, and instead we get Stan for The Apprentice, or we get Hugh Grant. It's possible. That would be wild. I walked out of Heretic at the Toronto Film Festival praising Hugh Grant's performance. I thought he was fantastic, but I never would have thought he was going to be a part of the award season. I thought, maybe a nomination somewhere, some kind of surprise at one of the big ceremonies. But for Hugh Grant to get in at the Globes, at Critics' Choice, and now at BAFTA, that's pretty huge. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to get overly optimistic or anything about Hugh Grant getting his first Oscar nomination, especially for a movie like Heretic, but him making it in here at BAFTA, that's big. It's possible. I still think Stan has the better shot. Daniel Craig is still absolutely in play. I'm happy lead actor, there is still, at this point, some suspense. Who's getting that 5th place slot? I think for the win at BAFTA, again, it comes down to Brody or Chalamet. Sing Sing did pretty well. Like, it got into supporting actor, adapted screenplay. Like, oh my God, what if Coleman Domingo could win something big this season? That would be awesome. I would love to see that. Brody is definitely the front runner right now, but Best Actor is not sewn up. We can still get some surprises in the weeks to come. Best Director at BAFTA, that also filled my heart with joy that Coralie Farja made the lineup for The Substance. They were going through the list, and for some reason I thought there were only going to be 5. So when I was like, okay, Baker, Corbet, Berger, Villeneuve, and Audiard, I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? Those are probably going to be the 5 at the Oscars, but Coralie Farja should be there. She should make the list. That would be awesome. And then they said her name, and I was like, okay, awesome, great. It is 6, not 5. One of the most pleasing Oscar nominations for me would be Coralie Farja making it into director, not just original screenplay. I think that is one of the best directed movies of 2024. She should be there. Who do you leave out is the question. I think Jacques Audiard is getting the Oscar nomination. Baker, Corbet, Berger. Like, do we drop Villeneuve at the Oscars? I mean, in some ways, I feel like he has a better shot of getting in at the Oscars than Farja. You also have James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, who got the DGA nomination. So we have to keep an eye on him too. It's going to be interesting. Like, Villeneuve, he hasn't done super well this season in Best Director. I think Dune Part 2 opening in early March last year, that has hurt the movie. Come award season, The Substance has a lot of buzz right now. It's doing very well. So, yeah, I feel like Baker, Corbet, Berger, and Audiard are pretty well set for the Oscar nomination for Best Director. Kind of like Best Actor, the suspense is that 5th slot. Who is getting in there? Is it going to be Villeneuve or Mangold or Farja? I think it's going to be one of those 3. There's also Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys. He has won a few things, like critics' prizes and things. I also thought he could maybe get in at the Oscars in director. So if he makes it in, anything can happen, really. But I do think those 4, Baker, Corbet, Berger, and Audiard, look pretty well set. The question is, at the Oscars, who gets into that 5th place slot? I feel like Villeneuve should be there. What a directorial achievement Dune Part 2 is. But Farja would also be worthy, 100%. And finally, Best Film, we have Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez. No big surprises there. I was hoping The Substance could sneak in. Like The Substance makes it in to Best Film. That didn't happen. A Complete Unknown, I think, is probably the movie that took the slot that could have gone to The Substance. It's tricky, right? Having only 5 versus like the Oscars, we have 10. We have 10 slots for Best Picture. So we could get a couple surprises there. When you have only 5 for Best Film, there's only so much you can do. I would have loved Sing Sing to have gotten in here as well. I think Sing Sing would be deserving of Best Film. Challengers, did Challengers get a single BAFTA nomination? I just saw it wasn't even nominated for score. I was like, okay, I guess Challengers is not a BAFTA movie. That's too bad. But yeah, this is a pretty good lineup. Obviously, Anora, The Brutalist. Those are the 2, I think, that are most competitive to win. But as I've said before, keep an eye on Emilia Perez. That movie, that did really well. Did that miss anywhere at BAFTA? Like, any possible nomination it could have received, I feel like it got. So, oh my God, are we in for Emilia Perez, like, winning, like, Best Picture at BAFTA? Like, could that movie overperform there? Like, before we get to the Oscars? I don't know. We have to be prepared for that. Just get ready. Like, get ready for Emilia Perez to maybe win some big prizes at BAFTA. I hope Best Film goes to Anora or The Brutalist. That would be great. I think those are 2 of the 5 best movies of 2024, to be sure. So I hope the win here goes to one of those. All right, so those are my thoughts about the BAFTA nominations. Let me know in the comments below what you think about like Jamie Lee Curtis getting into supporting actress, Saoirse Ronan getting into best actress. What do we think about that? The award season is still early. Anything can happen. As we get to Oscar nominations morning and beyond, I will be right there with you every step of the way. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time at the Awards Contender.